Welcome in to the beginning of a brand new week here on Seattle Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. On today's show, we have an extensive report to go over from ESPN's Bill Barnwell on DK Metcalf and a potential contract extension, as well as the other ramifications, what it means for the quarterback position and some other moves. We'll dissect it all, show you what Bill Barnwell had to say, react to it coming up in just a bit. Before we do, the bosses came with a threat. They said, Tyler, if you don't get 50 subs off today's video, we might just have to turn Seahawks Today into a Rams channel. I would hate for that to happen. Nobody wants that to happen. So do your part. Subscribe now to Seahawks Today for the latest happenings of your favorite team. Live shows twice a week, daily news and rumors, breaking news, mailbags, and more. It's all in one place. Subscribe now. Don't turn this over to the Rammies, and we'll get started with today's show. An extension for DK Metcalf. Could that be on the way? According to ESPN's Bill Barnwell, he did an extensive interview with Seattle Sports Radio just a couple days ago and laid out everything that you need to know in regards to this situation. Let's start with part one. Barnwell said the following. When it comes to DK Metcalf, you can't really knock the production. He's been healthy. He's been available most of his career. He's played really well. He seems like a locker room guy. It doesn't seem like he has any issues there. So you can't really poke holes in DK as a player. So that's all great. And I think everyone would agree that DK has done an incredible job on the football field in the last few years since he came to Seattle. But then the next step Barnwell goes to is the million-dollar question, or multi-million-dollar question, that is, can you pay DK Metcalf before you pay a quarterback? Listen to this. I really think the question is, how do you want to appropriate your money, and what do they have at quarterback? Now, let's be frank with y'all. We don't know who the Seahawks quarterback will be down the road, who the long-term answer is, whether they're in the building or not, whether they're playing for somebody else or if they're still in college. We don't know that answer to that question right now, and quite frankly, John Schneider and Mike McDonald probably don't know that answer either. But what we do know is that no matter what, DK Metcalf should be a part of the equation. So to the question that was posed by Barnwell, can you pay DK Metcalf before you have your quarterback situation figured out? I still say the short answer is yes, that you pay DK right now, and here's why. Look at the wide receiver market right now when it comes to money. Wideouts are getting paid at a record rate at the moment. When you see Justin Jefferson get $35 million, A.J. Brown, he's got $32 million. I mean, St. Brown of the Lions just got paid $30 million for crying out loud. DK still hanging on in the top 10 from his last extension at $24 million. To me, the measuring stick, if you will be that A.J. Brown deal where he got paid a big chunk of change. We'll go over those numbers in just a moment. But you look at DK's contract right now, 3 years, $72 million is what his extension calls for. You compare that to A.J. Brown's extension, which is about 3 years, $96 million, right, with that 30 per year and then the bonuses and all that factor in. And with the market going up, I know that A.J. Brown's had a little bit better career than DK has, a few more accolades here and there, but you would think that with the numbers going up, that DK will probably be looking for that type of money in this next deal. So then the question becomes, do you go ahead and do it? And I say you do. What do you guys think? Our pinned comment today, should Seattle extend DK Metcalf right now? It would certainly open up some cap space as well for Seattle to be able to do some other things in the short term before the season begins. Weigh in. E for extend, D for don't. Barnwell goes on to say that the quarterback situation does not change Metcalf's status. He raised the question, but he agreed with me ultimately that you still have to keep DK around no matter what. Here's more from Barnwell. If you don't go out and give Geno Smith a raise, if you do go out and sign Dak or someone significant at quarterback, if you trade for Kirk Cousins, that's a different question. I think it's tougher to get that deal done with DK. I still think you do it. Look, here's the deal. If Geno's your quarterback, I still want DK. If Dak Prescott is your quarterback, I want DK. If Kirk Cousins is your quarterback next year, I want DK. If it's Sam Howell or a rookie quarterback, I want DK Metcalf in my wide receiver room no matter what. Because whoever it is, whether it's Geno coming back or bringing in a Dak or a Kirk Cousins or Howell or a rookie, DK Metcalf is going to provide a safety net for this Seahawks team. You see the consistency that he's brought week in and week out, year after year, right? Coming off a season with over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns, and he's just now really getting into his prime years as I think that he's the face of this franchise going forward. And then you look at, okay, what's the quarterback situation look like? Well, the Seahawks can save $25 million against the cap next season if they do end up releasing Geno Smith. And his cap hit for next year is $38.5 million. I highly doubt, right now anyway, barring Geno just going off and being one of the best quarterbacks in the league this year, that you're going to be content with taking on a $38.5 million cap hit next year. There's a decent chance this is Geno's last ride in Seattle in 2024, that this is going to be it. Or at least they'll restructure or something to avoid paying him $38.5 million. You look at the statistics, comparing year to year, and there was a step back that Geno had last year. We are hoping, and I am of the belief, that Geno's going to have a better year this year in this Ryan Grubb system with the weapons still there and hopefully an improved offensive line, but that remains to be seen. So whether it's Geno there or whether it's somebody else, I think you need to keep DK around, find a way to make it happen. What about Geno's future? Is this the last dance for Geno Smith in Seattle? What do you guys think? Y for yes, N for no. Weigh in the comment section. Tell us what you think, if this will be Geno's last season or not. We have jerseys on sale for you. Chatsports.com/Murphy. Byron Murphy jerseys on sale now. As you can see, he's going to wear the number 91 this season. Add a 9 to that 1 there. Got the home jerseys, the road jerseys. Got the alternate available, men's and women's sizes. Also got free shipping available for you as well. Go see for yourself. Chatsports.com/Murphy. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Go get yours today. Chatsports.com/Murphy. Barnwell goes on to write that Seattle needs DK long term. That this is a guy that they cannot do without. That even if whoever is under center, that we need to see DK be a part of this team for years to come. Barnwell with more saying the following. If you have a rookie quarterback taking over next year or someone who's not making even what Geno is going to make this year, I don't think there's a real doubt about extending Metcalf. I think you surround that quarterback with talent. You sign DK, and you hope that Jackson Smith-Njigba is your number 2 receiver, and he ends up being eligible for an extension in a couple of years from now and deserves one. The truth of the matter is this, folks. DK is the face of this franchise right now. You don't have Bobby Wagner anymore. You don't have Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, Jordan Brooks. This is DK's team going forward. And here's the other part of why I think that you go ahead and extend DK and you keep him in your long-term plans, because the reality is that if you were to put DK on the trade market right now, you're not going to get the return on investment that you're hoping for. You're not going to get the trade value, a deal that you would really like for a guy of DK's caliber, because what we mentioned earlier with how expensive receivers are, the trades that we've seen over this offseason, they're not getting a whole lot back in value like they would like because of how much money you're having to pay. Here's an example. Seaside Joe, who covers the Seahawks on Substack, does a really good job. Encourage you to check that out if you're not a subscriber already. He put this perfectly a while back. The question isn't, should the Seahawks trade DK Metcalf for a first-round pick? The question is, should the Seahawks trade DK Metcalf for the best offer they could get? And I don't see any evidence in the last few years that suggests Seattle's going to get anything close to a first-round pick for DK Metcalf. That's the harsh reality. DK's great, 2-time Pro Bowler as recently as this year. He's been a second-team All-Pro. We mentioned the consistency, 5 straight seasons with at least 900 yards. But trading just isn't an option right now. I mean, Stephon Diggs, what was that, a second and fifth round pick in that deal with the Houston Texans that was made, a few months back? You're just not going to get it. It's not worth it. You are better off paying DK the money to keep him around and be the cornerstone piece for this franchise and lead this offense for years to come. Let's ask you, should the Seahawks settle and trade DK Metcalf? You know how I feel. How do you feel? Type T for trade, P for pass. Weigh in the comment section and tell us what you think. Subscribe now to Seahawks Today for continuing off-season coverage. We got you covered. Subscribe now, youtube.com/SeahawksTV.